In this video, I'm going to share some resources on the internet that I think are really informative and provide really good content on a variety of topics related to your financial life. So, the first one I'm going to cover is this website called Mr. Money Mustache. And Mr. Money Mustache is basically a pioneer in this movement called Financial Independence Retire Early, the acronym FIRE, FIRE, so the FIRE movement. And so Mr. Money Mustache is a real person. He basically retired in his 30s through kind of a plan of working as a professional and living very frugally and saving the majority of his income and investing it well and basically retiring early. So through kind of delayed gratification and keeping his life really simple, he was able to save a lot and basically accumulate enough assets to basically live off of. And so this website has kind of grown into a very informative and content filled place where you can find information on a lot of different topics related to your financial life. Let's just look at a couple of the articles that are featured here. So, killing your $1,000 grocery bill. So, in this article, he's probably going to talk about different ways you can save on groceries and, kind of couponing. And, there's probably places that he talks about which are good and just strategies of how to kind of reduce your grocery spending. What other kinds of posts that we have here? This one looks like it's about the math behind retiring early, just kind of going through some basic math on how much you need in retirement to retire early, how much you can expect from investment income, et cetera, et cetera. So he has this kind of content, 50 jobs over 50K without a degree. So, he gives you some ideas on jobs you can work if you don't have a degree to earn a good living. And so, this website is a really good place to look for information on topics related to financial freedom. He also has kind of good like inspirational posts on like what is the kind of philosophy of retiring early? Why do you want to do it? Is it right for you? So he kind of goes through more philosophical discussions on, the use of your time, what is really important in prioritizing in life. And I think he does a pretty good job of doing this. So I think this is a really good website. There's also a forum. So there's a lot of people that follow this kind of pathway. And so, you can probably learn a lot by just reading these forums too. So, he's got information on taxes, real estate, so investing. So I think these are also really good avenues to kind of learn more. And you can see there's a lot of posts, 500,000 posts on this one, 62,000 on this one. So there's a lot of content on here. So he has a start here option. So you can probably start there. And, he probably has some basic articles laying out the foundations. And so, yeah, this is a good place to read up on just general financial management, and sets a kind of pathway and an appealing pathway for a lot of people. So check it out. So boggleheads.org is another kind of forum, and it attracts a lot of really smart people who are really good with money. I did another video about a bogglehead poster who wrote about how to buy new cars from dealers. So you're going to get a lot of information on a wide variety of topics related to your financial life, from investing, tax, how to do certain things like buying a house, how to deal with, if you have an investment property, how to deal with tenants. You're going to find a lot of things related to kind of your financial and investing life on here. So let's just look through a couple of the topics so you can get a sense of what kind of stuff is on here. So you can see travel, medical insurance in Canada. So this is probably going to be some poster asking about, hey, I'm going to Canada. What should I do about insurance for traveling? Buying T-bills. So this is an investment question about treasuries. Diagnosing auto battery issues. So, someone probably do-it-yourselfer is asking about auto batteries. So there's a lot of do-it-yourselfer stuff on this forum too. So this is a general kind. It attracts a lot of frugal people who are uh, saving, investing, do it yourself. So it's a really interesting group. A lot of them are on hardcore finance questions like a Roth conversion. This is like a tax topic where if you have a Roth IRA and you want to convert it to a traditional IRA. So this is, a very technical question. So, there's a lot of variety in the topics that are covered here. But, if you have a question yourself, of course, you could always post and you're going to have a hive of really intelligent people that are going to respond to you. So this is both worth checking out as a reader and also if you have questions yourself. But I would also say that the question you have has probably been asked before. So before you start a new topic, it may be worthwhile just to search Boggleheads to see if someone's asked a similar or the same question because it's probably likely that they have, and you can already find a built out thread on what you're looking for. Doctor of Credit is a website about credit cards. I have another video that goes through this website in more detail, but I just wanted to mention it here. I encourage you, if you want to learn more about credit cards and credit card deals, to watch the video I did on Doctor of Credit. Scott's Cheap Travels is a really cool site that basically tracks anomalies in airplane ticket prices. And so, I flew to Europe round trip for $280 by using a Scott's Cheap Travel flight alert, basically, because these mispricings happen for a short period of time, so you have to book quickly. But if you're a avid traveler and you want to get good prices on tickets and you can decide quickly whether to buy or not, because again, the deals last for a very short period, maybe a day or two, then this is a really cool website. I think there's a couple of plans. There's a free plan and then some paid plans. So just you can explore the website, but basically they send you an email alert with the deals, and you can choose to go on them or not. Very useful website. Okay, so now I'm going to switch a little more into investing because there are a lot of websites that are really geared towards investing and investment advice. For the very beginner person, I would definitely start with the J.L. Collins website. As the name implies, the simple path to wealth. He has a really simple kind of pathway for investing, which I think if you don't want to invest too much time into, it's a really good one to potentially do for your entire kind of savings and investing career. You can click on this link. The stock series basically has these parts. They're pretty short blog posts, but I definitely recommend reading this and learning about what he is advocating. He basically advocates investing in index funds through Vanguard, which is a very low cost mutual fund company and ETF company. They have exchange traded funds. So again, I don't have time to really cover this in this video specifically, but this just to put this website on your radar. If you want to have a really simple investment plan, JL Collins' website is really good, and it's jlcollinssnh.com. Value Investor Club is a website. It's like a forum that writes up specific investment ideas. So this is for the more advanced user of investing who wants to do more work, find single stocks to invest in. It's a really smart group of people who post on here. And so this is what it looks like once you're logged in. You basically can see all these different ideas. It's pretty cool because they also get kind of a ranking. You can see here that the ideas are sorted by highest performance rated. So you can look at the different, like basically the users can rate these ideas. So if you go look at the overall ratings, you can click on these different ideas. And what they do is basically provide some investment thesis on a particular investment. And so to read these well, you have to have some basic understanding. And I would say in some cases, an advanced understanding of accounting and finance and business to understand what's going on. And I provide some coursework that you can go through if you really are interested in this world of investment analysis in my course, to kind of learn some of these ideas and concepts, especially the accounting. And if you spend time kind of reading through these, it's going to go really slowly at first. But if you kind of look up things that you don't know, so for example, this term 10x net debt to EBITDA, what is this acronym? You can look it up and find out what it means. And then you can look up what this ratio is and understand what it means. So it's going to go slow, but it's worthwhile because some of these companies actually turn out to be really good investments. And so the rub with Value Investor Club is if you are basically not a member, meaning in order to get into the club full service, you have to submit an idea that the other existing members like and approve of. And if you do that, then basically as soon as a new idea is posted, all the actual full members can see that idea. But if you're not, then you usually get a delay. So it looks like I'm looking at ideas that are 45 days old. So with investing, time and acting quickly are very important. So if you're looking at an idea that's 45 days old, maybe it's already been kind of bid up by people, and a lot of the potential gain might be gone already. But that's not always the case. So it's still worth reading through these and finding good ideas. I think it's good to start your investing career by just reading the ideas, because you may not be able to discern what is a good idea versus a bad idea, but you can build that kind of instinct over time, by reading these ideas, learning kind of how people think about investing, and also tracking how these ideas work out over time, and learning about how the investment thesis that someone may pose is often punched in the face by reality. So I think that's a really good way to learn, and just making a habit of reading these and then tracking them over time. Eventually you'll develop your own kind of instinct about what is a good idea and a bad idea. But again, just like many things, it takes practice and kind of time to develop that. Seeking Alpha is another website for investment ideas. You can look up specific companies. So let's say I wanted to know about WP Carey, which is a real estate investment trust. You can read different things about the financials here, and also there's a lot of analysis by members. And so some of these people are kind of just talking heads, where they're analysts and they're trying to sell you a subscription to their kind of newsletter or whatever. Some of them are just kind of users, and some of them will require you to pay. But this is still a good website. I think it's a pretty useful website if you're semi serious about investing, not just in a passive way through kind of index funds. It's pretty useful to do research on specific companies. Just wanted to put one blog post on your radar. This is the Ashwath Damodaran .blogspot.com. Professor Damodaran is a professor at, I think, NYU. He is a professor in finance and valuation. He teaches a lot of really good classes. He also has these classes available for free online. But he also has a blog post, or he has a blog where he writes about different topics. Like this one is about how the conflict in Ukraine is affecting the markets. He writes about specific companies and does like these really good valuation write-ups. He talks about the market in general. It's a really high quality blog, and I think it's really worth reading. I use it in some of my other classes, where we, for example, go through his post on his valuation of Tesla and then talk about all the different components he used, the assumptions that he used. So it's a really good website, and he does a great job of going through his thought process and the different methods that he's using to analyze companies and the market in general. So really high quality. And if you search his name, so if you go, so I just search his name in valuation class. So you'll see that it's the first link that comes out, the valuation online class. If you click on this, he gives you, links to all the slides, the tests, and there's a video that you can watch here. And so it's a really good class. I've actually done it myself, and it's a little advanced. I would say you probably need some basic kind of experience with accounting, but once you kind of have a good foundation, it's a really good class to learn about how to value businesses and companies. And then finally, this website is oaktreecapital.com. So Oaktree is a alternative investment management company. So it's like they basically run different hedge funds and investment funds. And one of their executive officers, Howard Marks, writes these really, really high quality memos. You see the memos from Howard Marks. They are very high quality. He's an extremely experienced and skilled investor. And I highly recommend, if you're really interested in investments, how to invest, thinking about financial markets. He's a person I think is really worth reading. So in my investments class, I referenced his memos and kind of use them as case studies for students to kind of think about how markets work, how to think about investing, risk, all these things that we have to deal with in our investing lives. So I encourage you to read them. He has both some memos on kind of timeless investing issues like risk. I think this one, Selling Out, is about how to think about when to exit investments. So these are kind of timeless things. And he also has memos more related to current situations. Like this one, The Pendulum in International Affairs, is probably about the situation in Ukraine right now, or at least he'll use that as a way to talk about more timeless topics. So yeah, hopefully you can get through these. They're sometimes a little long, but I think definitely worth investing the time in reading.